Hey everyone, welcome to the Stars and Stripes sit down presented by Toyota with 76ers center Andre Drummond and First Lieutenant Melissa Stockwell, U.S. Army veteran, Purple Heart and Bronze Star recipient, U.S. Paralympic medalist, and Team Toyota athlete. Thank you both so much for being here. Melissa, what else can you share about your background as we jump right in and your work with Toyota?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. Love this is I've been a part of this Toyota weekend up in Philly a few times, and it's always great to be there. So I served in the Army. I was commissioned out of University of Colorado in Boulder, and then I was deployed a few years later. And to make a long story pretty short, resulted in the loss of my left leg from a roadside bomb on April 13th of 2004, and then went on to kind of live a life of sports. It really gave me my life back. Four-time Paralympian in the sport of swimming and triathlon, bronze medalist. And I've been really fortunate to be a part of Team Toyota for many years now, and just Toyota support on and off the race course, and being, one of the athletes that they support, and just showing their inclusion in sport in the Paralympic field, and just helping me with the mobility that I need to live my life.
Thank you for sharing all that. These are always really important conversations to have. We appreciate having you back for
Yeah.
another one. And Andre, obviously, athletics have always been part of your life. And when it comes to the branches of the U.S. military, their core values, some of them such as excellence, duty, commitment, how do some of these translate to an NBA locker room and onto the court?
Yeah, I think they're similar in a lot of different ways. One being it's a team. You can't do anything alone. I think it's a team thing with being in the service. You got to look after each other. You guys, it's one band, one sound kind of thing. I think in the locker room for us, we can't win a basketball game individually. So I think the camaraderie, the togetherness, the will to want to compete and be the best is huge in both sides.
Mhm.
And why is it important for you guys to give back to service members and their families?
Truthfully, I think it's important because they're fighting for our freedom each and every day, and I think it does get looked over sometimes. And I think it should be publicized a lot more. The job and how well they do these things for us, and make sure that they ensure our freedom here.
One of the ways the Sixers do that, Melissa, is of course through this Sixers Stars and Stripes game. As an honorary captain, can you please tell us about your transition from the military to civilian life?
Yeah, so military to civilian life. Mine was a little bit different because I did spend a year of it at Walter Reed rehabbing after the loss of my leg. And I had only served briefly in the military, so it was short yet an eventful service in the military. But that transition can be really tough. A lot of soldiers go into the military with a specific skill set. It could be being a mechanic. It could be a sniper. It could be infantryman. It could be a logistics officer. There's such a wide range. And you go into the military with a specific skill set, and you all wear the same uniform. You're all doing it for the same cause. You're taught to show up, on time is 5 minutes late. Like, there's all these different things you learn in the military. And then you transition out, and that is what you know. And it's just depending on, I mean, a lot of companies might try that, but will never, truly achieve what the military has. A lot of veterans will transition and thinking that their specific skill set does not translate into the civilian world. But what does translate is their leadership, their dedication, their belief of being bigger, like giving back to something bigger than themselves. So much of it translates. So that transition can be really, really hard. And just there's a lot of resources that can help with that transition. And the hope is that they lean into them.
What was one of the biggest challenges you faced during that time?
Again, like after I was so focused on trying to, rehab and live my new normal with my prosthetic leg. But I think a lot of it was it's the little things. It is the camaraderie. It can be there, and I'm thankful that I found that with my Team USA athletes at the Paralympics. So I think the struggle is finding a place where you feel like you belong, just like you did in the military. So it's kind of finding that right place.
Andre, in hearing some of Melissa's story, how can someone like her serve as a role model for young people, such as even your own children?
Yeah, I think as Melissa said, just the leadership qualities that the military instill in these men and women each and every day is something that is lacking in this next generation. I think leadership and guidance is something that this next generation needs. So I think with her skill set of leadership and togetherness and how to bring people together, I think it's very, very useful and needed.
Kind of winding down with some advice for anyone who might be watching this. Melissa, going back to you first, what would that advice be for audience members today who may be facing challenges in their personal or professional careers?
I think advice is that challenges, like we all deal with them, like they're all relative. Like one person's will not be another person's, but like I guess realizing that it's okay to have these challenges because we all have them. It's just a matter of how we deal with them. So I think advice would be to find, the teamwork. I mean, Andre, I have no doubt in the locker room, on the court. I mean, the teamwork is essential. So
Right.
finding a team of people that, want to help you get somewhere, finding the resources that are out there and using them. I mean, with my Team USA teammates, if we're struggling or we need advice, half the time, some of them have been through the same situations because we're all different, but we're all kind of going through the same pattern. So finding someone that's gone through whatever you're going through to help you achieve, you know, someone has led by example before you. So looking to them kind of for that motivation, for that inspiration to see what you can do.
Andre, along these lines, for you, maybe it could be helpful if you explain how you mentally prepare for a game, a practice, any sort of competition.
But mentally for me, I prepare for a game the same way, whether it's preseason, it's a pickup game, a summer league game, it doesn't matter. Anytime I step onto that floor, I have this level of just gratitude and just honor to be able to play a game that I know and love. So I don't take anytime I step on that floor, I never take it for granted. Because I know it can be easily taken away from me and I'll never be able to do it again. So I cherish every moment that I'm out there. I cherish every moment that I get to share the floor with my teammates and have a chance to win and play at a high level and do what I do and play a sport that I love since my childhood. And it's carried me all the way now to this day. So I always prepare the same way. I'm just grateful. I'm happy. I'm excited. I never try to take it for granted. And most importantly, I try to win every time I step out there.
Mhm.
And what message might you have for service members who are watching this event?
A message to service members. It's very simple. I know it's hard. Feeling like you don't belong. I mean, I can relate to these things as well too. Being somebody who's very, very tall, it's hard for me to go do normal things. I can't go to different places. I can't go to different restaurants. I can't. I know what it's like to not feel like you belong, and you can't walk this life alone. I think everybody's biggest success is with bringing somebody along with you. So whether it's finding programs or finding people who are also in similar situations as you and building each other up, um, it's a beautiful thing what you can do with bringing somebody else along with you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Are there any final thoughts that you would like to share, Melissa?
Um, no, I just think, coming from like the military side, the Team USA, Paralympic side, and I'm at like just the team that Andre's on. I mean, there's so many similarities there as well, as far as the teamwork and wanting to be the best that you can be. I mean, the Army's be all that you can be, right? And you get to these elite athletics and it's be the best you can be. I mean, you're right. You want to get out there. You don't do it to participate. You want to do it to win. So it's really kind of striving to be your best every single day. So there's just so many similarities there. And just I'm excited next weekend to be a part of it and to represent Toyota and everything that Toyota does and gives back to the community and to Veterans Day.
Again, an important conversation. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. And Thank you both, Melissa and Andre, very much for your time.
Thank you.
Melissa, thank you.
Yep. See you, Andre. Thank you.